Yeah. Uh, uh. Boy Wonder. Drizzy.
What's going on, people? Back with a video. It's been a long time. I'm back with Kiran, and there's only one topic to talk about: the European Super League sending outrage, shockwaves out to European football, English football, pundits, players, managers. A lot of them coming out and having their say. So obviously, as fans, we're here today to talk about this farcical European Super League. Kiran, take it away, my brother.
Bro, I don't know where to start, man. I mean, first of all, when they announced it, I was like, okay, maybe they it's a statement of intent. But when they said, okay, yeah, it's gonna start in August, and these are the clubs that have joined, I was shocked. I was shocked. I mean, I was disgusted that my team, Arsenal, were a part of it.
Likewise.
Because it
But
goes.
to be honest, like I wasn't surprised as well, because
No, I wasn't surprised.
with the ownership that both clubs have, it's like we've become a business now. Like we're not the great football clubs that we used to be. It's just that we're just money making machines, and it's a fact. Like as much as you like it, like with obviously no disrespect to Arsenal, but if you're basing this Super League off success, then United as well. United and Arsenal have not been what you call a European super powerhouses.
No, I
We
mean
haven't
Arsenal.
been, and it's just not been. It's
Arsenal
just
have
not.
never won. Arsenal have never won a European Cup, nor of Spurs, nor of Atletico Madrid,
Nor of Man City.
nor of Man City. So for those clubs to be involved, I mean, Arsenal haven't won a league title for 16, 17 years. Tottenham haven't won one for 60 years, and they haven't won any trophy of any sort since 2008. So it's really it's strange to me, it's from a sporting point of view, but obviously we know, having all the facts, that there was nothing sporting about this proposal and this competition at all. It was all to do with money, and it is sad because some of these clubs, they are great institutions. They are great institutions, and they've destroyed
The
all of that.
identity. I think
The
it's
identity
more.
of
It's
each
more
club
like
is
obviously
tarnished.
like I'll be honest with you, right? I looked at the 12 clubs in that proposal, and the ones that I was very, very disappointed with, obviously United, Arsenal, definitely, because all the work, like the way I saw it was, if our owners allow this proposal to go ahead, then essentially you've just thrown away the legacy built by Sir Alex Ferguson and Arsene Wenger.
Yeah, I have an interesting take on this year, and it is that the clubs, Arsenal especially, for Arsenal, to be involved, it makes sense in terms of where they are at the moment on the pitch. They're never gonna qualify for the Champions League in the next few years because the team they currently have on the pitch isn't good enough, and the investment to get them up to that level isn't going to arrive anytime soon either. So I understand from a business point of view why Arsenal were involved, why Tottenham also were involved. They just built their stadium, they need the money. From a sporting point of view, it's really disappointing that a club like Arsenal wanted to be involved, but it just shows as well how out of touch with the game that these owners have come into are. I mean, Arsenal's.
If the most common theme about this whole thing is like all the owners of the top 6 clubs are American, pretty much.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like, someone was talking about it the other day. I can't remember who it was. They were saying I think it was on Twitter. I've seen someone put up a tweet saying, you could see it coming with obviously, the NFL being held here at Wembley and Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, which is obviously one of the main reasons why Tottenham are part of it, because of the stadium they have. And then you've got the NBA that comes here every now and then. So it's like you could see Americanization in this country. Like you could see, I'm not saying you could see it coming from a mile off, because obviously Perez, you know what Florentino Perez is like. Like he's Mr. Corruption. And he was saying in one of his interviews the other night that, they've been planning this for a while. So it's like
20 years they've been lining this up.
But it's like I don't believe him in a way, because it's like, how, like, if you've been planning this for 20 years, how can it just crumble the way it has, if you know what I mean?
Well, from his perspective and that of Barcelona, they're the 2 most desperate clubs. They need the money the most out of all of them. I understand, like, they've stuck in. They both said Barcelona released a statement saying they will remain in the Super League. Perez is the president of the Super League, so he's not gonna just fold.
Yeah, you know what he's like, man. He's like, he knows how to make money, man. Because if you look at all his statements in his interviews, it's all been about making money. Everything's been about money.
Well, he wants to save the game, and I find that really interesting that he said
this
that.
Hear this one. When he was talking about the youngsters, I think he was saying something about 16 to 24-year-olds here. They get bored of watching boring football matches. You might have to shorten. You might have to shorten a football match. I was like, are you mad? Like, what? You might as well just make a bloody basketball and have 4 halves.
For me, it's interesting that the first club to bow out was
Chelsea.
I
feel that's just down to fan pressure, though, man.
It is, but you know what's so interesting about that to me, and ironic, is that I really feel that sporting merit in the Premier League, especially, it began to perish the day that
Roman. I remember you saying this as well.
Throw money at his team and at the transfer market, and basically, at that time, no fair play. So Chelsea could buy whoever and whatever they wanted to do.
Yeah, it just wasn't. We weren't on an equal page. Like all the top clubs, like they were at the time, they were probably far ahead, like compared to all of us in terms of like spending money just on transfers. Like they could compete with your Real Madrids and your Barcelonas at the time. Well, obviously, United were obviously wealthy, but I don't think they could possibly. I think the amount of players that Chelsea bought in through those years, I don't think United and Arsenal could have, spent the same amount of money in one summer, if you know what I mean.
No, they couldn't. Well, Arsenal,
even though we were successful, it was just never like that. Wasn't the ethos of our club. Like it wasn't. It just wasn't.
And the prize money, plus the gate receipts, plus the sponsorship, plus the merchandise sale, all of that together, it doesn't make the transfer budget that Chelsea were working with back then. And this is in 2003.
Because I remember before he took over, they'd finish in the Champions League places, didn't they? They finished fourth.
They finished fourth. And
then he took over, and then they finished second. And then Ranieri got sacked, and then they brought in Jose.
Yeah. But even in their first summer, they spent big. Then the second year after they finished second.
Yeah, when Mourinho came in, that's when the spending really hit the roof.
Yeah, they spent heavy, and so I feel like that was the beginning of the decay of sporting merit. in the
Football,
Premier.
for example, just football in general. Just football in general, I reckon, man.
Well, before them, a lot of people don't talk about it, but Real Madrid were
Yeah, but
monopolizing.
they've been doing it for years.
Yeah, yeah. But that
This
doesn't
is
make
why
it.
I hate them, because, like, obviously this is off topic a little bit, yeah, but they would always come to United and steal our best players
Yeah,
all the
well,
time.
Barca
They
doing the same.
got so desperate they took Gabriel Heinze off us. Like, come on, man. Like, that's just utter like, it's the same with Barcelona and Arsenal. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
They've come, they've taken Haleb off you, they've taken Fabregas off you, they took Henry off you. Three of arguably your best players. Man City did the same thing
They
with
took
you.
Song when Song was really
One of the best in the league at the time. Definitely.
Yeah. The for me, the one villain in this year that has not really been spoke about at all, but they are a villain and they need to be checked as well, is UEFA.
I've said this as well all along.
Because
they're just as corrupted as these Super League
they've
owners.
allowed these clubs, your Man Cities, your
Chelsea.
your Chelseas, your Real Madrids, your Barcelonas, they've allowed them spending that is so astronomical. You would think that it's like a FIFA career mode. It's crazy, but they allow it every single year. There was a year City spent like 200 million just on
fullbacks, defenders.
Fullbacks.
Yeah,
just
defenders.
on fullbacks.
Yeah,
four fullbacks. 4. And so for me, as much as we want to blame Perez, we want to blame our own owners, UEFA are just as guilty, because had they said when they should have 15 years ago,
it wouldn't have come to this. You're right.
Even
but it's
10
like
years ago,
it's like, bro, like, even this. Have you seen this new Champions League concept?
I have, yeah. It's disgusting.
It's
and again,
it's no different to the Super League, in my opinion.
It doesn't reward.
It doesn't reflect. I think it was
merit.
like this when United won the treble in 98-99. We finished third. I think we finished third in our group, because we had Barcelona, Bayern Munich, and I think it was Bromby. And United had finished third in the group stage. It was like the Euros in 2016, where like essentially you finish third in your group, you still qualify to go through to the knockout stages or whatever. I don't know. Like, this concept is confusing, but I kind of like, if I balance it with the Super League, it's basically essentially it's just a league.
I don't like it.
Yeah, neither do I. And it's just like, they had like the president Ceferin came out, and he was digging into Perez and Agnelli and all these guys, and he was trying to threaten all these English clubs that are participating in European competition this season, saying, you're going to get banned and this, that, and the other. But then I'm seeing things as like, UEFA paid out these English clubs to pull out. And you know what? If it is true, I wouldn't be surprised, because I said all along, UEFA and FIFA are just as corrupted as these Super League owners. And bro, like, all this, talk of players are not going to be allowed to participate in the Euros and the World Cup and participate, they're going to get kicked out of their domestic leagues, they're going to get kicked out of Europe, and it's just like, it's all talk, mate, because you're not really going to do it. You're not going to, like, I mean, Zlatan hit the nail on the head with his statement. Like, there's Malmo for me in Sweden. Messi, he can always go back to Argentina, play for Boca Juniors. Cristiano can go to Sporting. So, like, what you're trying to threaten us, essentially, that we're not going to be able to participate in European competition. We're not going to be able to play for our country because of the owners of these football clubs who are money hungry. The players have nothing to do with this. It's not like the players have come out and said, "Oh yeah, we accept these proposals." I mean, Arteta and Oli, they didn't know anything about this until the day of both of our games on Sunday. You guys played Fulham, we played Burnley. They got told before the game, and it's like, it kind of takes your concentration off the game.
Yeah, I agree. I think the response from UEFA towards the Super League was the correct one, though. You know,
Yeah,
you
no,
have to
of course. I agree.
you
But
have to threaten
it's
the
like
heaviest of punishments.
even
Otherwise,
it's like
going
you
to
want
get
to
away.
talk about ethics and morals, right? Like obviously that's what this is about at the end of the day. But hosting a World Cup in Qatar in winter, which is essentially going to be halfway through a season, unless
Yeah,
they obviously rearrange everything. And I don't know if you've heard about the amount of deaths that have taken place just in constructing stadiums and stuff. And you want to talk about
yeah,
ethics and morals? Leave it out, man. I'm sorry, but
yeah. I agree with you.
that's wrong, bro. Like the
The
people out
game,
there that have lost their lives working in that scorching heat to build stadiums for FIFA, and they want to talk about ethics and morals.
that's why, nowadays, yeah, if you say to me, Kiran, what do you want to do? Do you want to sit down and do you want to watch the match, or do you want to go and play a match? I'll go and play. You know why? Because out there on the park, or on the 3G or the 4G pitch, or even on the Astro, that's the only place that real football still exists.
I agree
It
with
doesn't
you.
exist.
I got to
It, does,
agree with you, man. Like
it doesn't exist in professional football anymore.
no, it's all money. It's all money driven.
Money
And
has
yeah, bro.
poisoned the game.
And the thing is, like, they try to all these owners of these top six clubs. They try to take away our football, right? Essentially,
Yeah,
that's disrespect to all the 14 Premier League clubs because obviously, even if the Super League proposal went ahead, right, it kind of takes away what like we've grown up to watch the Premier League, right? That's our bread and butter. We used to look forward to games on a weekend. Like even now, like obviously it's not the same, but you still look forward to watching your team play as bad as we've been, And it's
yeah,
like that would have essentially that would have become an EFL Cup if the Super League took place, because all these top six clubs, I would have seen that if I was one of the 14 opposing teams, bro, I would have seen that as disrespect.
yeah, 100%.
And they've got every right to be aggrieved. Every right to be aggrieved, bro.
Yeah,
Because
apparently
we would have been guaranteed a place in the Super League every year, right? Even if we finished 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, even if we flipping got relegated, we still would have been a
well, yeah,
certified.
and that's why I said,
And it's not fair for the teams like West Ham, Leicester.
it's not sport. It's not sport. How
Yeah,
can
it's
it
not
be
sport
sport
because it's not based
if
on achievement.
you can't lose? If you can't be eliminated, how is that a sport? It's not a sport.
It's stupid, bro, because it's like, look, if you want to talk about history, right? Aston Villa have won the European Cup.
Yep.
Nottingham Forest have won it 5 times. Leeds have a steeped history. Why are you not giving these clubs a chance? What? Because they don't generate the same income as the top 6 clubs? Is that why? Is this? I mean, bro, like I could go on and on about this here. And the funny thing is, right, the owners of my club, the Glazers, they are the worst culprits in this. And what they've done is, because it's all gone pear-shaped, they've thrown Ed Woodward under the bus.
Yeah.
People don't like
Yeah,
Ed Woodward. I don't like Ed Woodward, right? He's
Arsenal,
not a football man. He's a banker. He's not a football man. He was given the job to be the CEO of the biggest club in the world, and he's a banker. It's not his fault. He's only gonna do what he's good at, which is obviously getting sponsorship deals, advertisement deals, etc. That's what he's good at. He's not good at the footballing side. I'm sorry, you've seen it with the amount of money spent on players that have just not been good enough for my football club. And the fact that he was supposedly he was going to announce his resignation at the end of the season, but it was brought forward because the Super League flopped. That's what they've done. They've used him as a pet, so that they think, okay, he's going to get the heat. Let's get him to announce his resignation, which obviously he's going to resign at the end of the year. And now what they're going to do, I've read it somewhere, they're going to use Ed Woodward. He's here until December December 2021. So they're going to use him to patch up the relationship with 14 other Premier League clubs. If I was Ed Woodward, I would walk right now.
It's the same. It's the
To
same
save
with
his dignity. Look, his pride has already been affected because he's done a shit job in the last 8 years. He's taken so much heat, but the Glazers have to take the same heat as well now. I think it's about time, like, you know, United fans get together. Obviously, there's a protest going on I think it's when we play Liverpool next week, there's going to be a mass protest at Old Trafford. So, I mean, I don't know. With the thing is, I've learned about the Glazers is, like, you can protest, you could disrespect them, you can write letters to them. It don't make a difference. And
I'm interested to know.
And the worst thing is, bro, sorry to interrupt you. The worst thing is, Joe Glazer came out this week and he written an open letter, an open apology to the fans, saying that, you know, we want to put things right. Mate, you haven't put things right ever since you came in 2005. So what are you going to put right now? And you didn't even apologize in the letter, which is absolutely disgraceful. All you said was it was a mistake, that, you know, we accepted this proposal. We're trying to understand the fans. We're trying to put things right. No apology. All right. Stan Kroenke is not the greatest. He's no way a saint in my eyes, and neither is he in yours. But at least he still apologized.
Well,
I know he doesn't mean it. He doesn't mean
it. Allegedly, he apologized because the public apology didn't come from Stan Kroenke. Now, Arteta says allegedly that Stan Kroenke apologized to him.
No, but that's what I'm saying. At least he's done that. At least he's done that. At least he's apologized to Arteta.
I don't believe it, because he doesn't strike me as that kind of character.
It's the same with the Glazers. I mean, Gary Neville hit the nail on the head the other day. Like, these guys, they haven't stepped foot into Old Trafford. I think he was saying they haven't been at Old Trafford since we played Barcelona in 2008. They don't even know the offside rule, bro. And they want to create a Super League.
I'm interested to know, like, because from an Arsenal fan's perspective, you know, why we're tired of our owners is because we are underfunded. Every year, money is taken out of the club and put into the Kroenke family's pocket, and we've basically gone from being one of, if not the most profitable club in the Premier League, to a club that is now riddled with hundreds of millions of pounds worth of debt. And
you're talking about debt, bro.
This is all under Stan Kroenke's
it's the same with us. It's the same with us. Our debt is just.
But what the question I want to ask is, obviously, as a football fan, first and foremost, you care about what happens on the pitch, right?
Yeah, of course.
So, would you say that it's... I mean, for me personally, I think Man United fans have had it a lot better.
Yeah, no, of course.
Than they give the Glazers credit for, because at least, Man United are riddled with debt because the Glazers had to borrow money to buy Man United, which it immediately should not have been allowed. If you can't afford it, you shouldn't be buying it.
Yeah, it's true.
But they have had significant investment since the Glazers took over. Obviously, it's not been properly spent, but that's because they don't have a proper footballing man controlling that side of the club. But they have invested, though.
All right. I'm going to give you an answer to that. So they took over in 2005.
Mm-hmm.
The Glazers took over in 2005, right? Back then, obviously, Sir Alex Ferguson was our manager.
Yeah.
And we had David Gill as his right-hand man.
Mm-hmm.
A proper footballing man, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in terms of investment, David Gill had a big say in the players that we bought. Because obviously he's a footballing man. So, you know, it was just between him and Fergie that they would liaise and say, you know what, cool. Like, I'm sure the Fergie probably had a word with the Glazers, and they probably come to some sort of agreement that, listen, the footballing side will look after. You guys look after the rest, right? So from 2005 to when Ed Woodward took over as CEO, 2013, United won 4 league titles. No. Yeah, 4 league titles, a Champions League, and we got to, I think it was another Champions League final, something along those lines. And the debt that the Glazers have taken over, I'm going to read it out to you, right? So firstly, the debt is currently standing at 511 million. Amount of debt as per United's annual accounts from June 2019. This debt was used to buy United shares for the Glazer children. There have been no substantial debt reduction since 2012. Only interest is being paid each year. The interest is £806 million. That's finance costs over the last 14 years, which is £806 million. The share sales are at £452 million, which the Glazers launched United on the New York Stock Exchange in 2012. £37 million United shares have been sold in 4 trenches between 2012 and 2017. This has generated at £452 million. None of this has been invested in United. The dividends payments have been £80 million. Obviously, you know about dividend payments. The director fees being paid out were 92 million over the last 11 years. And obviously the Ronaldo fee, 85 million pound, they've just kept that in their pocket, and that hasn't been used for anything. So the total comes up to 2,026 million pounds.
You know, the reason I asked the question is because there's a protest going on today for Arsenal fans to try and get Stan Kroenke to sell the club.
Yeah.
And as much as I despise Stan Kroenke's ownership of Arsenal, it's not as black and white as saying I just want a new owner.
No, it's not that easy. It's not
because
that easy.
you owner, and there's no guarantee that he's gonna, you know, as a football fan, you have to decide, like, what do you want? So why I made the comparison between the Kroenkes and the Glazers is, even though the Glazers have got you into a lot of debt and they just seem to be really unpopular with your fan base, they've invested in the club, and the club has been competitive all the way through their ownership. The same can't be said for the Kroenkes. Now, the point I'm trying to make is that if you do have a change of ownership and the Glazers go, what do you want to see done differently? Because you've had the investment.
No, but the thing is, like, the first thing I want to say is obviously that the success came when we had obviously one of the greatest managers ever in Sir Alex and a footballing man. So essentially, I want to see us bring in a proper director of football.
Okay.
Like, obviously, like, we've got Darren Fletcher, but like, does he really have that experience? Like, obviously, he knows the club inside. He doesn't have that experience. So I'd like to see the Glazers turn around and say, all right, cool, listen, let's go bring in Edwin van der Sar. Let's go bring in Monchi. Let's go bring in Mitchell. Let's go bring in these people that know what football's about, like that know football, that can deliver success on the pitch. I don't want another, you know, an accountant or a banker to come in, because all he's going to be thinking about is money, how to make money.
But you can get
us fans, what we want to see. Look, you know, I'm not expecting us to go out there and buy an Mbappe or an Erling Haaland, or like, come on, man. We couldn't even pay 120 mil or whatever, 100 mil. We had a fee agreed for Jadon Sancho last summer, right? It was all agreed, right? But Ed Woodward decided to go back and lowball Dortmund. It was all agreed. The deal was done. He agreed personal terms. The fee was agreed, and then he decided to go up to Dortmund and say, "No, let me lower the payment." Why? In my eyes, that's not a smart move. If you've already agreed a deal with a player of Sancho's caliber, you automatically have to think, all right, cool, we're gonna get him. He's gonna get the number 7 shirt sales. That in a way, like, that's smart, because you're thinking, right, cool, like, if he gets the number 7 shirt, the famous number 7 shirt, he's gonna make crap loads of money.
Mm.
But they don't think of it like that. They think of it of, oh, we don't want to overpay because we're Man United. We're not gonna let blah blah blah. You know, we've been bullied in the past by Real Madrid. We're not gonna let that happen again. Like, I don't understand that. Like, it's all about saving money. It's all about money. Like, it shouldn't be. You make more money by being successful on the football pitch. You know that. I know that. We've seen our clubs be successful on the football pitch, make money, and buy the best players. That's what football is about.
I'm at my club, but,
I'm sure, like, come on, like, you know, when Wenger was in charge, like, obviously before the Invincibles and stuff.
Arsenal bought, they were either having bad times at their current clubs or they were unknown players. You know, only very few of the players Arsenal ever brought into the club were at the top of their game. Like they weren't. So we haven't seen it as Arsenal fans. But one of the questions, like the point I was making is that you can bring in a director of football. You can bring in all those football guys to support the team and the club from a footballing standpoint. But why do you need to change ownership for that to happen? Do you see my point?
Yeah. I understand what you're saying. But then it's like, the way I see it now is obviously they've been involved in this initiation of the Super League, right? The Glazers.
Mm-hmm.
And
but man came the Glazers for over 10 years.
But it's like,
and the question I have is why? Why have they hated them so much?
Even like at Old Trafford, right? If you go to Old Trafford,
yeah,
there's bloody leaks in the stadium, bro. You'll be sitting watching a match. There's one part of the stadium, right? You're sitting there watching the game. It's raining and there's water leaking on your head. It's little things like obviously I don't go Old Trafford every week. I'll go whenever I can, but I've seen these diehard match going fans complain about, you know, there's leaks in the stadium, you know, they're not investing in the stadium, you know, like to like restructure it or whatever. You know, they're not even putting money into local charities in Manchester. Like, some clubs are actually doing that. And it's just like, I don't know, man. Like, with the Glazers, I don't trust them because, you know, obviously like they have given like a substantial amount of money towards the team and stuff, but I just don't think they've given it to the right man, if you know what I mean. They've given Woodward, saying, "Here, look, here's 100 mil, right?" And then the guys that Woodward works with, that includes Matt Judge as well. He's the key negotiator for all these deals. Like, I don't think they've spent the money in the right way. And it's like, the Glazers, they don't know anything about football anyway. So to them, it don't make a difference. They're still going to make their revenue through shirt sales and you know, like United clothing and etc. ticket sales. They're still going to make their money. So for them, it's not like they can give 100 mil, but they're still going to get that back.
Yeah.
The main frustration, right, is obviously you know, they've given us money to spend, but it's just not been spent in the correct manner. And what we feel is, obviously, with Woodward resigning, we feel like getting the owners out and, you know, trying to, you know how in Germany the fans have I think they have like 50%.
Yeah.
They're trying to implement that here. But it's like, that's going to be very difficult because, you know,
it's impossible now.
Yeah, it's impossible. But obviously, even now, you know, even the Super League collapse is completely gone now, isn't it? That's what's been said. But Perez came out and he said, you know, it's not gone. This is why I don't trust the Glazers, because I feel like maybe in a year, 2 years time, this is going to come back.
Yeah,
and this is my fear. Like, these owners of our clubs, they're out to kill English football, and we can't let that happen, Kiran. We cannot. That can't run, because once they get what they want, not only does it affect our clubs, but it affects grassroots football. It affects everything, Kiran. Everything.
I agree with you 100%. But the problem is, you know, everyone's talking, and I'm going to say everyone, I mean like FIFA, UEFA, the TV companies, everyone is talking about, it's not for the good of the game, and it's not. But I believe if they went about it in a different way, and they had approached UEFA directly, and proposed that they changed the structure of the Champions League to be more like a Super League, and they had included, the other clubs as well. Not the like the lower clubs, but I mean other clubs with
Like Champions League places, like now, for example, like your Leicesters and your West Hams and etc.
No, not those. I'm talking about clubs with they have a certain income potential. So clubs like PSG, Bayern Munich, Bayern Munich and Dortmund. The reason why they wouldn't go for the Super
Bro,
League
they're proper football clubs, man.
No, it's not that. It's because the fans own 51%.
Yeah, it's a mad thing, isn't it? Like their fans are a bit mad, bro. You see, it's like Schalke got relegated the other day, and Kolasinac and Mustafi got chased down the street, bro. Like them German fans are mad, bro. But it's even like I'm surprised that PSG weren't part of this proposal. Like there's something fishy going on there as well, bro. Because the way I saw it was, if the Super League was to go ahead, obviously PSG were like, nah, we're not doing this, right? But I guarantee you, they would have won the Champions League and they'll be like, yeah, we're here now.
No, the reason why PSG weren't involved is because their president has just joined UEFA.
That's a killer. Now, what do you make of that? Because I think that's just going to be, that's the end of everything now.
Well,
they're just going to go overspend. Nothing's going to happen to them. Essentially, that's the way I see it.
Well, to be honest with you, they do have a big wage budget, but if you look at their expenditure in the last few years,
apart from Neymar, it hasn't been.
Mbappe as well. Mbappe was a lot of money.
100 was at 120, 130 mil, right?
Yeah, maybe even more. With these kind of deals, you never know the exact amount because you never know. There's always those payments under the table, and so you don't know.
The thing is, this is what I mean about owners that care about their football club. Because obviously, look, I'm sure that the owner of PSG, he has no ties to PSG. I mean, he's not. You can't tell me he's been a flipping diehard PSG fan. He's from flipping, where is he from? Qatar or somewhere.
Yeah.
But at least he's come in there and he said, you know what? I want to put this club on the map. That's my frustration with the Glazers. Like, obviously, when Ferguson and David Gill were around, that was the incentive because they had the pressures from Ferguson and David Gill. But once we let Fergie and David Gill go, and Moyes came in, like these managers, apart from Mourinho, Moyes, Van Gaal, Moyes was probably Moyes and Oli are the only ones that you would associate with yes men. I feel like some of these players, like for example, like your Alexis Sanchez, like I don't think that was a Mourinho signing. I think that was more Ed Woodward saying, all right, cool, Arsenal player coming to an end of a contract. He might go to Man City. We can't let that happen. So let's bring him in. We'll give him 500. We'll give him 500 grand a week. We'll give him the number 7 shirt, and everything's going to be all right.
I think it probably was a Mourinho signing, to be honest, because he'd complained beforehand. He wanted more investment, even though he had significant investment. He wanted more investment, and the Sanchez deal, economically, even though it turned out to be a disaster, it was potentially really good because there was a low transfer fee, even though they put him on 500 racks a week. Sanchez was still doing a lot of great stuff for Arsenal. So
at the time, obviously, but I don't know, bro, man. It's like I don't think we bought some decent players over the years. Like we did buy some decent players, bro. But if you look at the signings we made post Fergie, which one do I think has been the most successful? Arguably, I'd probably say Bruno Fernandes.
Well, he ain't won nothing, so
He hasn't won nothing. But I'm saying in terms of like output on the pitch,
in terms
he's
of
probably
output,
been the most astute signing. Ibra on a free wasn't a bad one, and obviously Cavani's done well.
Signed since Ferguson left. They signed Pogba, 89 mil. They signed Di Maria.
Di Maria, it was like 57 mil, 60 mil. I think we signed Zaha as well. That one didn't work out. We signed Depay.
Was a teenager though, so it was
Memphis Depay. We signed for like 40 mil, something like that, 30 mil. Your Falcao's, Alexis, Lukaku, Maguire, 80 mil. I feel like, obviously the market is mad at the moment, but it's like if we had the right ownership and the right footballing guys in charge here, I think they would have negotiated better in terms of paying for players. That's been the issue.
But that's not the Glazers though, because the Glazers have put the money on the table. It's the guys that are in control of the money that have, messed it up. Whereas for Arsenal, we've had guys, Raul Sinelli, Sven Mislin type, even Arsene Wenger, the greatest of them all for Arsenal. He identified all the greatest players that could have ever played for the club, potentially, and at every single turn, there was no money. There was no money. First, it was the stadium. Then it was stadium debt. Then Arsene left. Then it turned into we're waiting for the sponsorship deal that's going to really give us that cash injection we need. This was the Puma deal, by the way, not the Adidas deal. This was the Puma deal.
You made a lot of money off that guy, you guys, didn't you?
We got the Puma deal. All of a sudden, I think it was Chelsea signed a deal with Nike. It was like a massive deal.
Yeah, I think Liverpool have done the same as well with Nike.
So then we went and joined Adidas. Yeah, the Adidas money, that's going to bring in a lot of revenue for us, and then we're going to be able to compete. Now we're seeing Arsenal's stadium debt is still existing. How can the stadium debt, how can the stadium debt still be existing when the club built the stadium in 2006 and it was proposed that the debt should be paid off in 2014?
Yeah, that's mad. Like, I
this
don't
is a
understand
real ownership issue, because and yesterday there was a fans Q&A, and Josh Kroenke, Stan Kroenke's son, was there. And he was saying that the stadium debt, £200 million of it has been refinanced. So it's not even been paid off. We've not even had the stadium paid off. We're still paying for the Emirates Stadium.
So where's all the money gone then?
You tell me, where's the money? Where's the money? Because it's not going on the players.
They tried to put it into the Super League, bro.
It's not going on to the players. So where's it going? Arsenal's ticket is the most expensive ticket in the Premier League, and it's the most expensive ticket of any top club in Europe. And
even your season ticket prices are a madness, man.
It's a joke. It's nearly £3,000 to watch Arsenal. It's a joke. It's a disgrace. I refuse to buy any Arsenal shirt now. I don't buy no Arsenal shirt. I don't buy nothing to do with the club. I don't even take my son anymore. I used to take him to some games when he was little.
It's not worth it, bro. Like, even me, like, I've stopped going to United games, man. Like, bro,
I'm not doing it.
Like, coming back on your point about the Glazers, right? I just remembered, right? They've got a franchise in America, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So essentially, what they've done is they've taken this money out of United, and they've bought a franchise in the US.
It's the same thing that Kroenke.
But bro, it's like this is why we want the Glazers out, because they're not they're using the money for their own benefit. Yeah, they're giving 100 mil as a transfer kitty to keep the managers on side, to make some of the fans feel like, yeah, at least they're putting money into the club. Essentially, they use the money on their own stuff. They've probably bought houses. They've probably bought, like you said, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They used United money to buy bloody Tom Brady. Tom Brady's not a footballer.
You see,
this is where the frustration comes in. They're using English money in the American way of life.
You see what happened. You see why Arsenal fans are so pissed with Stan Kroenke, is because Stan Kroenke every year takes money out of Arsenal. They call it consultancy fees, right?
Oh, I want to know what he's consulting, bro.
Only God knows what that is. And then a year or two ago, they spent $5 billion, not million,
Jesus Christ.
$5 billion
on what?
LA Rams stadium. $5 billion, fam.
That's Arsenal money, right?
But that's more money than Arsenal is worth. The whole club. Arsenal's valued at 2.3 billion.
Yeah.
And
I think United at the moment are just above 4.
They spent 5 billion.
And the thing is, bro, this is one, right? There's a few United fans. Obviously, Wood was being sacked. Like, I've seen it on Twitter. Like, Twitter was a madness that day when it was all popping off, right?
Yeah.
I see someone come out and goes, I'm praying to God that the Saudi owners, like, the Prince of Saudi comes and buys the club. And I'm like, bro, like, yeah, them man, they are rich. Like, that Arab money is a mad thing.
Mm.
But what difference is it going to make? Really and truly, all they're going to do is obviously they'll put more money on a football pitch because Arabs are clever like that. But if you look at the stuff that they're doing back there in their countries, in terms of like the human rights, it's a mad thing, man. And it's like you don't want to associate your club owner with those kind of things. So it's like,
this is why I say, it's all good and well, and I don't want Stan Kroenke for Arsenal. I don't. But what I think most fans want, especially for Arsenal, is more investment on the pitch.
Yeah, no, with you,
is that the true spirit of the game? Because it's because of people like the Premier League, UEFA, FIFA, why Arsenal aren't competitive anymore anyway. Because we never ever in our history spent big money on players. But why we were competitive is because we had a manager who was way, way ahead of his time. And, in my opinion, he's the greatest foreign manager to ever manage in the Premier League.
Yeah.
Even though
hands down, bro. Hands down. Like, I can't disagree with that, man.
But his legacy is one of underachievement to a lot of people because he only won 3 titles in 20 odd years. But you have to consider that the majority of those years, if not all of them, there were always people that spent more than him. Like, up until, I think it was like 2013, Liverpool had a bigger spend than Arsenal.
Yeah. No, that's true. Like,
so my point is, it's all good and well saying put more money on the pitch.
You need the right man in charge.
But it's because of the money that's on the pitch in the first place, not the Emirates, but in general in football, why we aren't
not able to compete. Yeah.
Financial fair play doesn't exist. It's a joke. And if you want any greater example of that, just take a look at what UEFA done with Man City's case.
They were gonna get banned. Get thing with it, man. They ain't getting.
They were gonna get banned until they saw 100 bans in the bank account. Then
like, you know that, innit? Sheikh Mansour, bro. He probably dropped a couple of Rolls Royces, innit, to the UEFA owner, and he said, "Here, hold that." It's mad, bro. Like, it's just, I don't know, man.
You know what's sad? what's
Even the
sad
money in the
is
Super League, bro,
it's
it was
probably
like, I swear each club gets over like 400 million or some shit. Like some of the figures I saw were just crazy, bro. And it's like for the Champions League, you get if you win the Champions League, you get 150 million. But if you compete in the Super League, you get something like 300 million each.
350, yeah.
Yeah, I was just like, bro, like that's just like I can understand like why these owners are taking part in it, because for them it's not about us fans.
No, it's not.
And
It's
like it would have
just
been
business.
crazy, bro. Like it would have been like watching United, like hosting the United Arsenal match in bloody Australia. Like it would have been some madness like that. Like, and the real fans can't attend those, man. Come on, man. He's gonna go all the way to the other side of the world just to watch United v Arsenal. Like it's just
Well, look, Rich Schumacher, who was they
were, you know what? They were trying to change football and they were trying to change fans. That's what they were going out to do, really and truly.
For them, the gate receipts are massive. They are massive, and they do need them to survive long term. But what they were trying to do was put more eyes on it, on the TVs, on the streaming services, you know, on the networks, the Sky, BT, and the networks all around the world, beIN Sports, in the Middle East, you got
You got America. NBCSN in America as well, NBCSN and all these other
ESPN
channels.
and all of that. They want more eyes on the product, and for them, the product is obviously football, soccer, as they call it, and it makes me sick, because what they've done essentially is hijacked the beautiful game, and now it's not
Make it into a franchise, isn't it?
It's not football anymore.
They're making it into a franchise. They're trying to make it into a franchise, bro. And it's just like, you know what? I want to give a big shout out to all the players that came out this week. You know, obviously Bruno. For us, it was Bruno, Maguire, and Shaw. They approached Ed Woodward, and you know, they voiced their discontent towards this. And I'll give not just them, obviously Jordan Henderson, De Bruyne, Guardiola, Klopp, like everyone that came out, Gary Neville, Jamie Carragher, Ferdinand, everyone, like every single person in the footballing world that came out and, you know, spoke about all this. Yeah, so yeah, that's what I wanna, you know.
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree with you, man. You know what was disappointing as an Arsenal fan, though, is that my captain.
Oh my God! I know he's got pneumonia, isn't it?
Malaria.
Oh, malaria. Yeah.
He came out and he posted. I understand the sentiment, you know, which was, Twitter is a madness. Everyone's going off about the Super League. Let's talk about I think he was talking about let's talk about racism in his post. And I agree, racism is a massive, massive problem.
Yeah,
and
no, of course. You know what? Like the same sort of energy needs to it has to run with racism as well. Like
read the room, you know, read the room. The room right now is, you know, every day is the fight against racism. Every single day.
Yeah, it's not just like when someone gets abused. Like, no.
But right now, at this very moment, is the time as the Arsenal captain to come out and
save the game.
Yeah, and save the game. And this guy you know what? His post, had his post been more mature,
yeah, like you would have let it run, innit?
Like what Patrick Bamford said, you know.
I mean, Rashford, he posted, you know, there's like a mosaic at Old Trafford that says, "Football's nothing without fans." There's a quote from Sir Matt Busby, So obviously Rashford posted that on Twitter, and obviously everyone knows what Marcus is like when it comes to.
The only Arsenal fan to go, the only Arsenal player to come out with anything at all was Bellerin, and I've given Bellerin massive stick.
All of your fans have, man.
But he showed on that day that he's literally like he's the only.
I feel like he's the only one that gets it, man.
He's the only man at the club. The rest of them, they're boys. They don't care.
No, but even with us, like our players didn't. The only player that actually came out and put a statement out from United was Luke Shaw. But obviously, there's this talk of obviously Maguire taking a stance and etc. Which, like, I get it. Like, you know, it's good. Like, you know, you're taking a stance or whatever. But like, I want to see more. I wanted to see more from footballers. Like, I wanted to see them come out and speak more, like the way Milner did, like Bamford did. Like, obviously De Bruyne put up a statement. Zlatan did the same thing. But I'm not saying I'm disappointed, but I would have liked to see more from other players.
Yeah. So I would have hoped that at Arsenal we had more characters.
Like even with Barcelona, like I'm surprised Messi hasn't turned around and gone up to the board and be like, "Yo, like what are you lot doing? Like, what is this? Like you're trying to ruin our legacy." Same with Ronaldo at Juve.
I think,
but for them, it's like they're coming to the latter stages of their career. So I'm not going to turn around and say they don't care. They are passionate, but for them, it's probably just, you know, like, well, I ain't going to be here. Well, for Ronaldo's case, I guess he's probably, you know, I ain't going to be here for, you know, X number of years. So it is what it is, kind of thing.
I don't know. I mean, it's a delicate situation for both of them because they're both rumored to be leaving. Well, Messi's out of contract with Barca.
No, but they've just reappointed Laporta, Barcelona.
They have, yeah.
There's talks of Messi obviously staying, but obviously Laporta's been a huge supporter of this Super League.
Yeah, but I think it's
strange, man, because look, Barcelona's motto is more than a club. That's their motto. So it's like you're the notion of this around Barcelona.
It's obvious that that's bollocks, though, isn't it?
Is we're the fans' club, but you're not.
But it's bollocks,
because if you're the fans' club, you wouldn't even join this proposal in the first place. And the fact that all the teams have pulled out and you've stayed in there, that shows that you're not more than a club. You're just about money now.
Well, they're desperate.
You know, Barcelona have the most debt in world football.
Yeah, they got £1 billion worth of debt.
I've got it here actually. I've got it here on my phone. I've got a table. I'm just gonna quickly read it out to you before we wrap up. Where is it? I've seen it somewhere, and like they were on top of the list in terms of debt. Like it was just a madness, bro. Like I don't know, man. Like the clubs that are remaining in there, what? Real Madrid, Barcelona, and Juve.
Yeah.
Madrid, I wouldn't expect anything less because they've been a money club ever since Perez has been in charge. Barcelona, I'm pretty disappointed in, and Juve as well. Like even AC Milan, like even when AC Milan were part of this, I was like, really, like you, man, like the AC Milan that I grew up watching. Like, come on, man, you lot are trying to kill this whole.
Different. You know what we?
Yeah, no, it's true, bro. It's true, bro. But it's just, you know, like the way I was looking at like this whole thing, was for me, it was just about ruining legacy.
You know what's interesting is apart from Barcelona and Real Madrid, every club in the Super League is owned by a foreign owner. Yeah. It's foreign. And I think that's a bad indictment on
their clubs, respectively.
Where the game is going, you know.
But even look, bro, like with Tottenham, like what the hell, bro? What's Daniel Levy playing at? That man's a flipping Englishman, bro. You get slapped on his bald head, bro. Like
but he's not the owner.
Yeah, the owner's some American geezer, isn't it?
Joe Lewis, yeah.
No, but he still calls the shots though, doesn't he? Like he does the Ed Woodward role.
Yeah, but at the end of the
But
day,
you know what was funny as well, bro? Like
that's what he's
obviously
told.
with this whole Super League thing, they decided to sack Mourinho like 5 days before cup final. Like that was fishy, bro, because there was all this talk of him not leading the team at training because of this whole Super League concept, and then that got rubbished. But I feel like that was the case, you know. I wouldn't be surprised, bro. Because you know what Jose's like. You know what Jose's like, innit? Like he loves English football, man. Like he's as much as we dislike him, he has respect for English football, man. He would not let this run. You know that yourself, bro. Before they even got him in a press conference, they thought, sod this, bro. Let's just sack him in it. Because you know when he comes out, he's gonna start firing shots, bro, on a mad one.
Yeah.
And watch him, he's gonna come out in a couple of weeks and he's gonna talk about this whole thing, bro. And it's gonna be a blockbuster, man. When he's not a manager and he's a pundit, Jose's blockbuster, man.
Yeah, I don't see how they can say they sacked him for sporting reasons when his team's in a cup final at the weekend. They're only 5 points off the top 4.
Obviously, the performances haven't been great, bro. But obviously, that I think that comes down to him losing the dressing room, which was expected in a way. But
yeah, he lost the dressing room, but
at least, like if they win it, like you know, it goes both ways for him. Because I was saying to someone, if they win it, he's gonna come out in a couple of weeks and say, "Oh, it was all my hard work." Right?
Mm-hmm.
If they lose, he's gonna come out and say, "Well, at least I got them there." Whereas if he stayed and he won it, it would have banged, and then he got sacked. He would have banged on about it. Oh, I won them their first trophy and blah blah blah. But I still think it was unfair. Like they should have let him see out this cup final.
I don't get it, to be honest. To me, you cannot argue that it was for sporting reasons.
No,
it just doesn't.
It wasn't, bro. It was the main reason, right? Not the main reason, but I believe this talk that he refused to lead the team out to training because of this whole Super League thing.
Yeah, I believe.
And you know, Mourinho is a believer in morals and ethics. Like you know him. Like he any club he goes to, obviously he doesn't end well, but he does respect like the history and traditions of those clubs. Like at United, that's all he ever spoke about: football heritage, history, tradition. Inter Milan, Porto, Real Madrid. So you know he doesn't disrespect the history and tradition of those clubs. He might have his flaws with players and ownership and etc. I mean, at United, that's why it went downhill because he fell out with the Glazers and Ed Woodward. It wasn't footballing reasons that United sacked him. Well, I refuse to believe that anyway. Because the man won us 2 trophies in the time that he was there. Yeah. We finished second in the league, our highest obviously position since Fergie left.
I think they sacked him because of the dressing room. I don't think in the end the dressing room, because just before he was sacked, they asked him after the Liverpool.
Yeah, have you lost the dressing? Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah,
I feel like it was more. Yeah, obviously dressing room as well, but also the fact that he came out and he spoke about his he was discontent with the ownership because they didn't give him the money to buy the players that he wanted or whatever. But at the same time, like it doesn't make sense of flipping sacking Jose. Anyway, on a positive note, let's get back to the footballing side now. Obviously you've got a Europa League semi-final coming up. We've got one coming up. 6 games to go in the 5? Is it 5? 5 games to go in the league.
Yeah.
What do you think, man?
Well, it's going to sound really strange as a fan, a hardcore fan of the club that's in the Europa semi-final. But my focus has been taken off of it because of what's been happening with the Super League and stuff.
I'm the same, bro. I'm the same.
I was kind of willing UEFA to throw us out, if I'm honest, just as a message to the whole of football that you cannot just get up one morning
and say
and it's no longer
create your own league, basically, isn't it?
Yeah, you don't respect the authorities that are the institutions of football, the governing bodies, and make your own competition. You can't do that because what's to stop them one day saying, you know what, the Premier League, as lucrative as it's been for 30 years, is no longer lucrative enough. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a European domestic league. We're going to, there's nothing stopping them.
Breakaway, my foot, man. Breakaway. What breakaway, man?
But this is the kind of mentality that they have. So I was kind of hoping that they would get punished for that. And I still say...
No, but there's still punishment coming, but we just... The thing is, I
don't
hope...
think... To be honest.
No, they are considering it, but I just... I pray it doesn't affect the players because, listen, bro, the players have nothing to do with this. The players and the managers have nothing to do with this. If anyone deserves to be sanctioned, it's the owners.
But how do you go about? Because fines aren't gonna.
No, but that's. I mean, look, Boris Johnson got involved, right? So that's down to the government to decide. That's not for us to say. But for me, it shouldn't come to deducting points, etc. Because I don't think it's fair on the players. That's just my opinion, bro.
It's not, but the only way to turn up the heat on these owners is for discontent to, because the fact that it's obvious that the discontent among the fan base is not enough to unsettle them. So maybe they need their own staff to also be. I said 12 points of each team that was involved should be the punishment. 12 points. 12 points of Liverpool, 12 points of Arsenal.
Yeah, everyone. City, United, everyone.
Yeah, every team that was involved.
But you just know it's not going to happen.
Well, no, it won't happen. It won't happen. But when a club goes out of business and goes into administration, you get 10 points deducted,
Yeah. No, that's silly, bro. But yeah, well, what do you think of your chances anyway in that semi-final, man? Because you guys are playing Villarreal.
Unai Emery.
He's a cup master, isn't it?
He is the cup master. I personally expect us to go through. I think in the end.
No, I think over 2 legs, I fancy Arsenal, man.
The quality on the pitch.
Like, even against Slavia Prague, like, you know what? Big up to you lot, man, because like I had like, you know what, like, I wanted Arsenal to win. It wasn't footballing reasons. We know why everyone wanted Arsenal to win. And you know what, that put a smile on my face, man, because, bro, like, after the first leg, I was fuming at you lot, man. I was thinking, yo, like, you lot should have put them to bed, man. But then the way you come out the second leg and just destroyed them like that.
I think it was all the more satisfying to have battered them at.
And they don't lose at home. They don't lose at home.
No,
they've got a good record there as well. And the fact that Pepe stepped up and he posted that Call of Duty concept thing on his Instagram, which is quite interesting. And then you go and draw to Fulham on the weekend, which is typical of you lot. But
yeah, I think.
What are you saying? United Arsenal final? Yeah.
Probably, but
Roma are not a joke though. I said this to all my mates.
And let it be an all-English final.
But Roma are not a joke though, bro. Edin Dzeko, man, he's got a mad record against United. The most number of goals he scored in his career has been against United.
And I would say that Dzeko is the best striker United will have faced in this competition so far.
Yeah, without a doubt.
They are improved defensively this season, but I think it's going to be a challenge for United to keep him at bay. Probably, though, over 2 legs, the quality of United should see them off.
I hope so, man. But the thing is, I don't know. I don't trust these lot, man. Like, I don't know, man. Like, it is a big ask. Like, not a big ask, but you know what Italian teams are like over 2 legs, man. Like, they're the masters, bro. You know, like I think, you know what, I would have preferred to play Arsenal or Ajax over 2 legs. I think that would have been better for us. Roma was probably the toughest draw.
United they're on the up, so there should be no problems.
But I don't. The thing is, like, I'm kind of scared of face you guys in the final, man, because Bro, nah, come on, Kiran. Like, you know that one-off game, Arsenal always seem to turn up against United, man. So I'm scared, bro.
That's what gives me the belief that we could do it. But over 2 legs, I'd be less confident, you know.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, like, this is what I'm saying. I'm less confident that if we get you guys in the final, because it's a one-off game, your players will play out of their skins because it's one game. Whereas if it was over 2 legs, I think we would have had the upper hand because of the quality.
In 2017, the FA Cup final against Chelsea, so Chelsea were the champions, and I was fully expecting us to get worked. Like I was saying before the game, boy, this is if Arsenal
I remember that. I remember that one and last year as well when you played City, I think it was. Played City last year.
Well, in the fight, no, Chelsea.
Yeah, that's the one. I expected Chelsea to come out and like not batter you, but win. Even remember the FA Cup final 2005, United Arsenal, when we smoked you for like 90 minutes, 120 minutes, and you won on pens.
Yeah.
I feel like that can happen again. This is why I'm scared, bro. That we could be battering you all game, not put the ball in the net, and then you beat us on penalties.
Arsene Wenger said after that game he will never ever set his team up to play like that ever again, and he didn't. He didn't ever.
You know what? I remember that game like it was yesterday, man. Oh my god.
We didn't have Thierry Henry for that game, and we were battered, man. I think United hit the post, didn't they?
Bro, we hit the post, we hit the bar. You had one cleared off the line by Ljungberg. I think Van Nistelrooy had one cleared off the line. We were shooting from outside the box. We were missing one, bro. I don't even know. I think we had like 20 attempts in the whole game or something, man. Like it's a mad. This is what I'm saying. This is why I'm scared. Like if we get you guys in the final, like it's just gonna be. I don't know, man. Like
I don't know. This time there ain't no Patrick Vieira to lead the team home, and so.
No, you got Pepe, man. He seems to turn up against us, man.
I thought you said we're gonna end it on a positive note, man. What are you talking about Pepe for, man?
Bro, he's been doing the business for you lot in the Europa, though.
He has. You know, I think it's one of those where it's the price tag that makes people not like Pepe. Because if Pepe had come for 10 or 20 mil,
yeah, it'd be loved.
Not loved, but no, not loved. Because he's but he'd be all right. But because he cost 72 mil, and then you look at like Sterling cost 50 mil. Mahrez, I think, cost 70 mil. So, you know, Salah was 35 mil. Mane was 30 mil. You look at these are the 4 best wingers in the league. And even Jota costs Liverpool. What did he cost? 45 mil?
Yeah, 45, yeah, something like that, bro.
Yeah. So
well, obviously he has
35 rising.
Yeah, like I think he's done all right for you lot. Like in Europe this season, I think he's like obviously that might be his level, bro. Like no disrespect to him.
Yeah, I mean, you can only do stuff in the games you play, I guess. But
it's like with us. Like I feel like if we were to win this Europa League, obviously Bruno's a key player, but I think for us it's Cavani, man. In terms of like putting away the chances, because like now we're starting to create chances for him, and you know he's a gunman, isn't it?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
That's like for us, like if we were to win this Europa League, and I want him to start all the remaining games in the Europa League, which is potentially free if you include the final. So yeah, I want him to start both games against Roma because obviously he will have that experience of playing against, you know, European competition. He's got that experience, and you know, if there's anyone you want a chance to fall to, it's him.
Yeah, that would actually be my worst nightmare.
Yeah, he's a bad man. Like honestly, I did not expect the level of impact, and obviously, you know, he's a great player, but then you're thinking, yo, like he's been available for like 8 or 9 months. So like, why have United just acted up? And it sort of looked like a panic buy because it was a last minute thing. And then you're not sure with the injuries and etc.
I think it was, to be honest, a panic buy, but it turned out to be a really good one.
But you know what? The main thing for me is like I didn't realize how fit he still is at his age.
Yeah.
like, because I see him whenever I watch, obviously, when I watch us play and he's playing, I see him like pressing from the front. He's running to win the ball back. He's getting in good positions. You know, he's directing the players like Greenwood and Rashford, the younger players, like where to run and, you know, where to go and stuff. Like, it was a prime example against Tottenham. It was like the last, I think it was like injury time or something, just before Greenwood scored. There was a throw in on the right side, right in the corner in Tottenham's half. And obviously, I think it was Aurier was taking the throw, and Cavani was basically standing in between the centre backs, so the ball doesn't go to either of them. And he had Greenwood behind him, so he's telling Greenwood that, yo, listen, like, make sure you cover the other centre back. So, like, he's basically talking Greenwood through the game, and it's like little. I think that's why I think it's key for us to keep him for another year rather than just go out and spend 150 mil on a Harry Kane or Erling Haaland. I'd rather keep Cavani on for another year because he can learn, he can teach the players around him, and I think he's been a good addition, man. Like, I'm just really shocked at how good of an addition he's been.
Yeah, he has. Everyone knows that Cavani's a world-class player. He's the all-time top scorer for PSG. So
yeah, he's a bad man, bro. He's a bad man, and like I said, man, like, I think he's gonna be key if we're gonna win the Europa League. I think he's gonna be one of our key players, man. But like, when I look at you guys, your kids, man, bro, they're special, man.
But that's the problem, though.
I think, you know what? I'm gonna put my neck on the line here. I think Smith Rowe's better than Odegaard. I think so. I get more satisfaction from watching Emil. Not because he's English, but I think Odegaard was hyped way too early.
The difference, I think, is they're not they're different players. So
but Smith Rowe, like, I know they call him the Croydon De Bruyne, man, but he gives me that De Bruyne vibe, man, when he plays.
Yeah, but he can't shoot like De Bruyne.
No, but that will come though, man. Like, it's just the way he like glides with the ball, like he's manipulating of the ball, his sense of pass, weight of pass. Like, I don't know, bro. I think he's. Oh man, I love him, man.
Reminds me of Özil. Like, his passing range.
Yeah, Odegaard play. Yeah, definitely. Like, he plays like Özil as well. But the star of the show for me is Saka, man. Bukayo. Yeah. He's the only Arsenal player this season that I can say can keep his head high.
Yeah, definitely.
Who else? Like, if I'm wrong, correct me, bro. Yeah, Tierney's. You know what you're gonna get with Kiran, innit?
Massive. That he's out for the season, man. Massive loss.
I think he should be captain, man. I'm sorry, bro, but
the only reason I say you shouldn't is you can't give the captaincy to a man you don't know from 1 week to the next. Is he going to play? You have to be.
No, but I'm saying when he's fit, bro. When he's fit, if he's fully fit and like firing, then he should be the captain, man. Yeah,
but he's yet to do a full season for Arsenal. You know, obviously you get little niggles through the season, but when you get that many injuries and you just seem so flimsy, you can't trust you can't trust him to be the captain. The captain to be someone made of sterner stuff, man.
Aubameyang.
Right now, there is no captain material at Arsenal. There isn't.
What do you do with Aubameyang then? Do you get rid of him, or what do you do?
It's going to be tough to just get rid of him. You start to phase him out, I guess. You start by you just reduce his game time.
Yeah, look, sorry, Kiran. Ollie's come out and said he didn't like the concept of the Super League, and it has to be on sporting merit, like you spoke about. And he said he wants to earn the right to play in Europe. He said, I'm very happy the fans have voiced their opinion and that we've listened to them. It's a strange sort of way. It's brought the football pyramid and the community together. And I think that's important. I'm very happy.
Well, he's not going to come out and say that he was in favour of the league. And it's a shame that he didn't make that statement before it collapsed. You know, only Guardiola and Klopp made statements before the collapse of the Super League saying they didn't support the Super League. So no other manager gets any respect from me, to be honest. They didn't cover themselves in glory.
Come on.
Yeah, bro. I mean, yeah, it's been a madness, man. But I'm just like, obviously, bro. I'm just glad that it's been chucked in the bin, man. And you know what? Fair play to all the clubs for backing out. Obviously, I guess the protest helped in the end. With the Chelsea fans.
Yeah, it did. It's so ironic as well that it was the Chelsea fans, one of the fakest clubs on road. It was their fans, and not Arsenal fans, not Man United fans, not Liverpool fans, but Chelsea fans who really
they took a matter into their own hands, really, and you know, and you know what, like especially Guardiola as well. I love the way Guardiola spoke in that press conference. Like he had no fear of losing his job or whatever. Like I thought he was going to get sacked on the back of that. Like honestly, but they can't sack him, and he's their best. They don't even have a history, and he's making history for them. So
yeah,
the fact that he came out and he spoke in a manner in which he did, like, you know what, fair play. Like it's just, bro, like you don't understand how really, like, I was so proud when all the English clubs pulled out. Obviously, I'm not happy. Like, don't get it wrong, but like it was just like it was emotional, if you know what I mean. Like,
you know why I wouldn't say that I'm proud is because for them to have done it in the first place,
yeah, that's sickening, bro. It is sickening.
It shows their lack of respect for the fans, for the.
But they got a lot of patching up to do, my brother.
Oh, they're not gonna be able to patch this one up, man. They're
I saying, if you want to patch it up, yeah, go get me Sancho, Grealish, and Rice in the summer. Then I'll think about it.
Nah, man. For me,
like, they'll have to get you Mbappe and Messi.
There's that. No matter what they do, for me, they can't patch it up because
there's two ways to patch it up, right? You allow the fans to have a say in any future decisions, right? You allow the fans to have their opinion, voice their distress. Or two, you walk.
Well, they can't allow the fans a say because of the business side of it.
No. I'm saying not the business side. I'm talking more on footballing terms.
No, but they can't though because it's all because it's privately funded. Like this project was funded by JP Morgan, the bank in America,
and they helped the Glazers to buy United. By the way,
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
But the contract
they sort of initiated. They funded the Glazers to buy the club, and so now they're using the same concept to start this stupid Super League.
So they're bad news anyway.
And you know what was mad as well? Like, it's that the fact that they really wanted to start it from August. They weren't messing about, bro.
No,
Perez come out and he's like, listen, UEFA want to do this new Champions League thing from 2024. Banda, I ain't waiting for them. Bro, let me read that this whole Super League format. Yeah, bro, it's crazy. So it goes 20 participating clubs with 15 founding clubs as a qualifying mechanism for a further 5 teams to qualify annually based on achievements in the prior season. Achievements, yeah? Midweek fixtures with all participating clubs continuing to compete in their respective national leagues, preserving the traditional domestic match calendar, which remains at the heart of the club game. An August start with clubs participating in 2 groups of 10, playing home and away fixtures, with the top 3 in each group automatically qualifying for the quarterfinals. Teams finishing 4th and 5th will then compete in a 2-legged playoff for the remaining quarterfinal positions. A 2-leg knockout format will be used to reach the final at the end of May, which will be staged as a single fixture at a neutral venue. As soon as practicable after the start of the men's competition, our corresponding women's league will also be launched, helping to advance and develop the women's game. The annual tournament will provide a significantly greater economic growth and support for European football via a long-term commitment to uncapped solidarity payments, which will grow in line with league revenues. These solidarity payments will be substantially higher than those generated by the current European competition and are expected to be in excess of 10 billion euros during the course of the initial commitment period of the clubs. In addition, the competition will be built on a sustainable financial foundation, with all founding clubs signing up to a spending framework. In exchange for their commitment, founding clubs will receive an amount of 3.5 billion euros solely to support their infrastructure investment plans and to offset the impact of the COVID pandemic. So the last two paragraphs were just about money. The look on your face, man. But it don't make sense. Like, you got 3 clubs, so 3 teams qualify for a quarterfinal. The teams that finish 4th and 5th compete in a 2-legged playoff for the remaining quarterfinal, and then you got a 2-legged knockout for the semi-final. So there's no promotion or relegation.
No,
that's stupid. They're just overcomplicating things. And you know what? The new Champions League concept is pretty much similar anyway.
Yeah, shit. It's shit as well.
I don't get it. Like, it just don't make sense. Like, why don't you just leave it how it is? And like, even when Perez was giving the first interview he done on this, on the night of when it got I think it was Tuesday night, if I'm right, he came out and he said they were going to make a 2nd division for the Super League. Bro, like I said, man, like, I'm just so relieved that, you know, we don't have to hear of this for God knows when. I don't want the English clubs to re-enter, because honestly, bro, like, I was so close to turning around and saying, you know what, I'm done with football.
They will. Anytime there's a Super League, they will be there at the table.
Look, I don't mind doing a Super League as part of a pre-season tournament, like over the summer. You know, you have the Euros and the World Cup. Like, I don't mind it as like a little pre-season thing. You get it? Like a little world, like you could call it like the world. You know how you got the World Club Cup?
Yeah,
something like that, but like a summer tournament. That would be more enjoyable for the fans, wouldn't it? Rather than doing it, taking away, you know, the tradition of the Champions League. I mean, United have a history in the Champions League. We're the first club to enter the Champions League, first English club to enter the Champions League in 1958. And obviously the Munich air crash, where, you know, we lost 23 of our players and Samat also lost his life. 68, you know, we started our venture. We started our venture in 58. 68, we went and won it 10 years after the Munich air crash. And then obviously that's where, you know, Sir Bobby Charlton, Dennis Law, George Best, they made their name in the European Cup. They won the Ballon d'Or, for Christ's sake. And then 98, 99, obviously Fergie went and won it in 2008. So we've got a tradition. And to think that these owners were going to throw away all that for this Super League, and we would have gone in, and there was this talk of, like, you would have gone into the Super League with the same number of Champions Leagues that you've won. So instead of being 3 Champions Leagues there, it would have been 3 Super League championships. For Liverpool, it would have been 6 Super League championships. That just sounds like Pro Evolution Soccer, mate, Master League.
It does. Yeah, it does.
Like, it was just mad. Some of the things I was reading, like, just like, yo, man, what is this, man? Is this football? Is this European football? Bro, like, honestly, like, I don't know, man. Like I was kind of stressed, man. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. Like it really annoyed the head. Like, it really got in my skin, man. I know, obviously, you probably see it in a different manner to me. I don't know, man, but bro, like, for me, it was.
No, it affected me as well. It affected me
honestly,
as well.
like, I was just like, I couldn't get my head around it. First of all, I was just so confused about the whole thing, because I was seeing so many contradicting reports. And then at the same time, it was announced a day before UEFA were going to announce the new concept for their Champions League. So then I'm thinking, yo, are these lot like working together or something?
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't be surprised if they were. But yeah, bro. On that bombshell, we're gonna wrap up now. You got anything else to say?
No, I'm done for, man. I've got nothing else to say after that.
Yeah, thanks for watching, people. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Catch you later.
Yeah.